Hello everybody, my name is Deku and welcome back to Milgram. I know, it's been a while. I'm just now finally getting over my ear infection, and I was planning on doing it sooner, but then pain started hurting me even more, and, you know, I want to say sorry, but, like, you know, I really shouldn't be sorry for taking care of myself and making sure that, like, I'm, like, healthy for whenever I actually do get to record for you guys. Also, check out the hair. Check out the hair. Check out the hair. There you go. There you go. Look. Isn't this the face you're going to see up there with the other communist? Oh god, I'm sure that turned away so many people. But fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Yes, here we are. Welcome. I'm going to try and be putting out more videos during the week instead of it having to be only one a week like it has been for the past like week or two. So expect whenever you see this on Monday that another Milgram episode, or maybe even a Rotten Mango video or something along those lines being down there. Make sure to check those out because I recently put up a video reacting to Glitch's new production, The Gaslight District, and it didn't do very well, but it still got 100 or so views, but that made me happy. Other than that, look, right there. Those are all the patrons, and you see the cool one with the font and everything? Yeah, that's because they got paid. They paid. Do you want your own cool font and color and to be shouted out like this right here, and then hear me say your name at the end of every single video? You can do so by supporting me through the links down in the doobly-doo. So, all right, is it done? Are the names done going? Are they done going? Oh, they're done now? Okay. So, we are now on to Kotoko, which, oh shit. Okay, we're going to do Kotoko today, and then we're going to do all interrogation questions and report on the first trial at the end of the next one. Ooh, here we go. I'm sleepy too.
囚人番号10番コトコ。尋問を始める。
どうしたの？仏頂面をして。
その説はどう思
う？お礼を言う顔じゃないわよ。
お前には山ほど聞きたいことがあるからな。ひとまず名前と年齢。
ゆずりはことこ、20歳。大学生で自主休学中。
Smash。
あとはそうね。現段階でこれ以上は自分のことについて話す気はないわ。
何？
そちらの手の内がわからない間はね。
はあ？一体どういうことだ？
その前に最終確認。ミルグラム。ここにいる全員が人殺しというのは確かなの？
ああ。ミルグラムはお前たち10人を人殺しだと言っている。
That's still something that fucks me up so bad, is that it's something that's not really, like, given to you right away. It's either amazing storytelling or just, like, a bit of a flub on the creator's part, is that they say murder, but the proper way to describe it is that you were attached to somebody's death in some way, right? Either directly, esoterically, morally gray-ish, looking at you, you know, or completely directly, alright? So.
ミルグラムの前提ルールだ。揺るがない。それがどうかしたか。
看守であるあなたもこれをさせている存在の意思をはっきりとは知らないのね。
何が言いたい？
ミルグラムが言っている。看守さん、嘘がつけないタイプね。もしくは迷いがあるのか。ま、誠実で好ましいと思うよ。
何様だ貴様。
命の恩人様かな。
そもそもお前、なぜあの時尋問室にいた？助けられたのは事実だが、 勝手な行動を許した覚えはないぞ。
そうかしら。ミルグラムはそういう風にデザインされているように見えるけど。
デザイン、囚人の勝手な行動を許すように。
看守さんがしているんでしょ。鍵だってかかっていなかったわよ。
僕が。
Wow, the cells don't even have locks on them, huh? I wonder what happens if one of them tries to escape.
ことの行動を疑い、注意深く動向を追うような人間であることも許容したのはあなたでしょ。
人間性の観察、許す許さないが確定するまで。
そういうことでしょ。
なぜそんなことを。彼らが喋っているところを見たいから。彼らのことをもっと知りたいから。
看守さん。
看守。僕は。
Damn, fucking S is going through it this episode. God, wow. Also, guard-san instead of warden-san, even though they're saying Khonshu the same like they did before, which was translated to warden.
私は。
ぼーっとしないでくれる？尋問の途中でしょ。
ああ。
まあ、終わりなら終わりでいいわ。私からも話があるし。看守さん？いや、S、私と協力しない？私たちはいいパートナーになれるはずだよ。
協力だと？
あなたは看守の立場から尋問によって得た情報を、私は囚人の立場から普段の監獄生活で得た情報を互いに共有し合う。どうかしら。
ふざける。
Take it, take it, take it. Please make this so much more interesting. That would make it so much more interesting. Not to say that's not already interesting, but like, goddamn.
どうして？悪い話じゃないはずだけど。ほら、カヤの御事の件はそのお試しサービスだと思って。
うるさい、黙れ。クーリングオフだ。
黙れ。
僕は看守で、お前は囚人。以上だ。
見た目通り頭が固いな。
なんだと？
桜井遥は行動に積極性が増している。幼稚で変質的だが、周囲とのコミュニケーションに興味を持ち始めたようだ。貸しのは表面上の変化は少ないが、相手に同調するコミュニケーションが減ったように思える。本来の。
That's another thing is I'm very curious to see how these characters change over time. Like, over the course of Trial 2 and then Trial 3. And then obviously over the course of their other music videos and the like, and then their other audio logs.
地球のが表出し始めていると言うべきか。
おい、何の話だ？
梶山風太は明確に変わった。他人への攻撃的な言動が減少傾向にあり、自己正当化、防衛する言動が増えて。
コトコ!
Quick, put up the fucking image of Pikachu going. That's me right now with Kotoko.
エストの尋問を終えた囚人の行動の傾向が徐々に変化していることに気づいてる。
I have not, because I don't know what's happening.
監獄の中から見える景色もある。私はあなた同様、囚人を監視しているから。
お前がなぜそんなことをする必要がある？
協力しましょう、S。私たちの利害は一致している。
利害の一致だと？看守の僕と囚人のお前が。
Yeah, but what stakes does S have? What do they have that, like, if they fail or anything? Were they going to get a slap on the wrist, a pay deduction?
ここに収監されてから私なりにミルグラムを観察し考察した。
それが囚人のやることか。
結果、私の中で出た仮説。ここは真の善悪を定義する場所。ちなみにここで言う真とは新しいという意味でもあり、誠という意味でもある。
真の善悪。
すでに世界には法律という罪の基準が存在するにもかかわらず、なぜ人殺しを集めて有罪無罪を改めて問う必要があるのか。囚人と言いながら 拘束すらせずに自由に行動させ、そのものの人間性を観察しているのか。人の心を覗き判断する必要があるのか。こんなことをしようとするのは、今の善悪の定義が不完全だと思っている人間の仕業としか思えない。
That is true. What is the point? Why does Milgram exist if not because somebody doesn't like the way things are already being done?
確かにミルグラムは法律を基準としていない。
Yeah.
僕もそうだ。新たな基準を探している。
気が合うね。
ミルグラム自体へここまで理解を示そうとする人間は初めてだ。
確かに信じがたい非現実な場所よね。
Kotoko, you've given a great material analysis.
でも私にとっては悪くない。手間が省けるというもの。
コトコ、貴様は一体何を考えている？
あなたと同じだと思いたいけどね。私は悪が許せない。
悪が許せないだと？
そう。私は悪を憎んでいる。罪なき者を傷つける暴力、略奪、殺人、悪行の全てを憎んでいる。
Yeah, but you also have to remember why people might do those in the first place and what leads them to do that anyway, right? The action itself is usually something that you cannot just judge as something being bad. Obviously, there are some things, right, where you're like, oh, well, it's pedophilia, right? That's fucked up. Obviously, duh. But then if it's something like, oh, you were forced into hurting somebody, why were you forced into hurting somebody, right? Because some of them are very narrow, right? Where you're like, okay, only one type of way you end up doing this. But then other ways are very broad, right? Even the very action of killing, right, is something that is very nuanced in why is it being done, right? Is a soldier committing a crime because they are killing people that are supposedly posing a threat to their country? I mean, I think so, duh, because of, that's imperialism, right? U.S. imperialism and the like. Just because you are being told that you're going to get a Lamborghini by killing a bunch of brown people doesn't mean that it's a good thing because you're also told, oh, you're protecting your country, right? But it's also one of those things, like, is it a good idea for someone who is actively trying to hurt you, maybe due to certain circumstances that they just really don't like you and have it maliciously out for you to protect yourself? Is that a good thing to do? I think so, yes. It is a good thing for you to protect yourself in that scenario.
この世には法で裁けない悪が多すぎる。法の隙間はない。弱者を虐げておきながら、今ものうのうと暮らしている悪人がたくさんいる。
Well, a material analysis of the law is that it helps no one but the bourgeoisie. It only serves to keep the poor down and to exploit them even further due to certain sorts of laws. Now, you can always look at it and say, was this done this way from the very beginning? Probably not. But it's one of those things of a hegemony that it just builds upon itself over time, that it begins to lean into one thing than the other. But at the same time, it's one of those things where you realize that even if the law isn't just for rich people, to, escape from or the like, you realize that it must be flawed fundamentally, even if it does believe in these morals and ethics and is trying to moralize these things and to implement morals into the culture of where the laws persist, right? Because that's one of the biggest things a lot of people need to understand, is that just because somebody says something is bad does not mean that it is bad, right? Just because the law says something is bad does not mean that that is a bad thing to do anyway. Because those are already layers that are helping protect maybe just capital or businesses or the like, while the system around it does not try and ease the suffering of the proletariat or the like, right? So that's one of the biggest things whenever some people might say that, like, oh, well, you have to be amoral. No, you do not have to be amoral. You do not have to be non-ethical. You do not have to lack morals or empathy, especially some people who are leftists might think that, oh, well, as Marxists, we have to, be amoral. No, 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 no. If that was the case, then there wouldn't be no issues with the fact of you living under systems of oppression. It is not because, oh, it has contradictions that we fight against it. It is because it is actively hurting people. That is the reason why. And that of itself is a moral justification. But the reason of why you shouldn't moralize some things is because how you are moralizing. What is the framework in which you are moralizing? Is it through the moralizing lens of U.S. law? Or is it 1943 Germany law? Is it Mussolini law, right? Or is it something like the USSR, where because you are a class traitor and are actively trying to hurt people of the same class as you, that also means punishment, right? Or is it something where you live in a state where there is no law, but just because there is no law does not mean that you yourself lack morals or moralizing in your own sense, right? It is why you believe these things to be right and wrong and what is right and wrong for you on an individual basis, and why a state apparatus might say something is right or wrong in the first place, and who that affects. So, anyway, back to Kotoko, and I say all of this is because exploiting loopholes, it's not even the fact that it's exploiting loopholes. It is a fundamental facet of a lot of justice systems that if you have enough money, you get bypassed with it. And if not, you are put on trial to show, hey, this is what happens when you do this, don't do it. But then if somebody else does it, it shows you, hey, you should probably get more money. And a bunch of other things too, right? But again, I'm throwing around a lot of words that you might not know what they mean, but a lot of these things comes down to hegemony, right? Where a culture believes in a certain type of way and a certain aspect or aspiration of what a person should be, or how a person should act, or what they should be benefiting or aligning themselves as, that makes it to where the culture just says that, yeah, if you bought your way out, you must have not done anything wrong.
この世界を変えたいと思いながらも、私一人の力では限界がある。Kotoko。あなたたちの真意は知らないわ。同じ思想を持つ同士というのも、もしかしたら私の妄想に過ぎないかもしれない。だとしても、善悪を再度多角的な観点であぶり出すミルグラムの性質自体に私は魅力を感じているのよ。どう？私のことを理解してもらえた？
一ついいか。
He's gonna slap her.
コトコ、お前は人殺しだ。お前もミルグラムの囚人だ。れっきとした人殺しだ。お前もお前自身が憎む悪だ。裁かれる立場だということを忘れるな。
人殺しねえ、あなたもそのレベルの人間？がっかりさせないで。ま、どうでもいいけどさ。
なんだと？
確かに私は人を殺した。だからこそミルグラムの力を信じることができた。でもそれは虐げられていた弱者を守るため。相手は極悪人。弱者の盾となり牙となった結果、今の S のように非難する人間がいたとして。
So we have two vigilantes, right? We have Fuda, and now we have Kotoko.
私は自分の行いに後悔はない。
殺人、その行為自体に善悪が備わっているわけではないと。
極端に言うとね。
Again, is the act of taking a life evil? What is the life that you are taking? Right? We could go to extremes in this scenario, right? Are you killing Ted Bundy? Or are you killing a child? Or are you killing an animal, right? Are you going out and killing a deer so that you can feed your family because you live off-grid, maybe due to whatever conditions led you to living off-grid, maybe cultural, anything like that? Or are you killing a deer for nothing more than sport and then using nothing with its carcass and then putting the ecosystem in a little bit of fucky-wuckiness?
弱者を守るためなら致し方ない時もある。それに私が行ったのは旧白性の侵害に対して自己または他人の権利を防衛するためやむを得ずした行為よ。意味がわかる？
刑法36条1項正当防衛。
よく勉強してるわね。事実、私はその件では司法においても正当防衛と判断されている。
それは日本の司法の判断であり、
The
僕の
JJJ.
ミルグラムが許す許さないは関係がない。
そうね、理解している。それにすら懐疑的なミルグラムのルールにのっとるし支持する。でも私は自分が正しいと確信しているし S にもそれが伝わると思っているわ。
まったく大した自信だ。
だって S、 あなたは私の心に触れるんでしょ。歌と映像によって。
その通りだ。
じゃあ大丈夫。分かる人には分かるから。
そこまで言うなら見せてもらおう。お前の心を。
私の罪に触れて許せないと思うなら許さなければいい。許すならばその時は。
なんだその手は。
What about her hand?
私たちは仲間よ。
僕と仲間。
その時は S、 私はあなたの牙になろう。
何を言って。
Bong, bong, bong.
マジか。まあいいわ。話したいことは話したし。
何が仲間だ。僕はお前たち人殺しの罪を裁くための監視だ。お前と手を結ぶ必要などない。
S、
I love seeing just how, like, rigid S wants to be viewed as Warden. Like, that is exactly what they want to be. That is how they want to be seen.
あなたは自分のことを処刑人とでも思っているの？法で裁かれない悪人がいると言ったでしょ。逆もしかり、不完全な法で裁かれようとしている善人もいる。あなたはそれを許す立場でもあるわけでしょ。あなたは悪を裁く処刑人ではない。許されるべき殺人者を救うのもあなたなのよ。
They are not supposed to be just executioner. They are supposed to be judge and jury.
さあ S、 私の罪を聞くがいい。
囚人番号10番Kotoko。お前の罪を歌え。
Damn. What the fuck? Why are you so big? You were here to meet an underage girl, weren't you? Okay, yeah, so I definitely get it. As soon as I saw the wolves, I was like, okay, so this is going to be a situation of predator hunting other predators, right? Because obviously one of the big things that can actually be, especially within Japanese crimes, is the fact of pedophilia and predatory behavior can be kind of just like hand waved away. So let's go through that. There's not a lot to really go over with this, but let's start at the very beginning. Very interesting. I love her design. She looks very cool. It definitely seems like she has been hunting certain people for a very long while. I also love this right here, this little shot. That's so cool. The lyrics are very, very basic, right? Like, they're very straightforward, I should say. But it definitely seems like these are news reports talking about children and the like. And now she is actively going after these predators. And I think that's a great thing. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me whenever I say, like, I think there's nothing wrong about with vigilantism, because obviously if the law can't handle something in the first place, you yourself have to do something to protect your community. You have to, right? That you, like, if you need, like, that, there's a reason why neighborhood watch is a thing, right? There's a reason why neighborhood militias have existed for so long, even in the modern day. There's a reason why, interconnection and interpersonal connections with people and parents and the like exist, because sometimes the cops, most of the time, don't really do anything unless it benefits them. And you might be wondering, like, well, what if they really want to help? That benefits them because they want to help, right? It is not just because of an occupation. It's because there's a moral obligation within their minds to do it. It is not just because, oh, they are a cop, they have to do it. If that was the case, then the cops would actually work, but they don't. And it's one of those things where vigilantism as an idea is not something that is good or bad as an idea. It is how you use it, right? I mean, technically, whenever people were getting lynched in the South, that was vigilantism, right? But then you also have people like Kotoko here. This is also vigilantism and the like. I love the imaging of her with the wolves. I think it looks very, very cool. And the whole idea of fangs. And this is also a great time to bring up the idea that if you hunt predators, what is the point of it for you? Are you doing it to protect the victims, or are you doing it just for clout, right? I brought this up in one of my previous videos about predator hunters and how I don't like predator hunters. But in the way with Kotoko, she's a perfect example of what a good predator hunter would be, because they are actively trying to protect children. It is not just something like in their head, like, oh, well, they hurt kids, that means I get to, beat up on them because I get gratification from beating up people. No, it's one of those things where she uses violence for a reason. Even if she might enjoy it, she is still genuinely trying to help people. It is not one of those cognitive dissonance things. I also really like the pelts. The pelt there is very nice. Okay. Okay. Alright. Wow. That was a lot shorter than I expected it to be, but it was pretty cut and dry. And honestly, I really enjoy that some of these are cut and dry. Especially like Amine, but then I spent like a fucking hour and 20 minutes talking about her. But wow, I cannot wait for tomorrow where I record this, record the next questions and everything, and I get to see the results for trial too. I'm so excited. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like down below, and while you're down there, let me know what you think of Milgram. If you want to support me, I have Patreon, all that other stuff. It is free. Memberships aren't free, but the tiers on Patreon are also not free, but you can become a Patreon for free without paying, and you get your name right at the end of every single video, and you get your own custom ending, title screen with the rest of the other people in the same tier as you. Also, as always, I want to say that if you become a paid member, you do not get anything special in terms of being like, oh, you paid me, that means I have to treat you well, or I will put up with more of you from you, or anything like that. Like if you start saying like some bigoted shit in my comments, no. Fair is fair. No matter how much you pay, but obviously there have been people that I consider really key members in the community, right? You see them, right? And you hear their names, but that is based on how they act in the community themselves, not because they pay. In fact, I'm pretty sure only one person in the community right now pays. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you to the members and patrons, aka the members of the Ultimate Pirate Fleet. Sawlane, Peachy Bun, Sleepy Sheepy, Lolo Bartazal, Finch R, Imanawi, Bell, Lily McMillan, Henri, Shira, Angel313, Andrew Ortega, Ariana Henry, Yoan, Test, Helen, Miles Morales, Booglarka Boggy, Moonze W, On You, Lind, the Vocaloid Nerd ARG, Distar Period, AT Period, Leia, Chocoboo / Chris, Annie, Sheng Guang, #1 Ash Bradley fan, and Michaela Malone. And a very special thank you to the paid tiers, starting with Fresh Pirates, Yui Izumi. If you wish to support me and hear your name at the end of every single video, and even get your name grouped in with the same people that are a part of your tier, you can do so by becoming a member through the links in the description down below. You are all a part of the crew, but only some of you can achieve ultimate status. But then again, you've already heard the outro of this video. Thank you.